Hey, fellow babies, welcome back to Pachter Factor on SIFTD.net. If you are a Patreon patron, we appreciate your patronage. You're getting this stuff the instant it is published. If you have taken the time to link your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch Prime account, then you are getting this real time. Please remember to renew that linkage in the show description below. If you're subscribing via YouTube, thank you very much. All these things keep Shane eating macaroni and cheese so he can try to recover his health, and he's doing fine. We'll figure it out one of these days. Okay, today's question from Patreon from Jerry Gonzalez with an S. With a new president in office, do you see Biden undoing Trump's tariffs? If so, how will it affect game companies, hardware manufacturers, and consumers? Trump is a moron. I know that's an insult to all morons, but he's a moron. He doesn't understand how tariffs work. He, for whatever reason, decided that China took advantage of the U.S., so he had to put tariffs on things. And the problem with China is that they're, I think, our number 2 trading partner. I think Mexico is number 1, but they're one of our big trading partners. And the thing they buy the most of from us is food. And the food they buy primarily is like pork and lobsters and stuff. Pork comes from red states that voted for Trump. So putting tariffs on China caused China to put tariffs on pork and stop importing pork. And then the U.S. had to do a $12 billion bailout for farmers. Next time one of your idiot Republican friends says all the lefties, all the Democrats are socialists, just remember, when you give $12 billion to farmers from the government to subsidize their loss of sales because of tariffs that your government put in place, that's socialism. So Trump was the most socialist president we've ever had, and Biden's going to undo tariffs because tariffs are anti-trade. We want free trade. Actually, I think everybody wants free trade. And if you look around, there's something called purchasing power parity. I encourage you to look this up on Google. PPP, purchasing power parity. Look up what a basket of goods costs in the U.S. versus other countries. Cheaper here. You know why? Because our it's made in China, and because we exploit low-price labor in China to buy patio furniture. You can buy a sofa for like $1,000, a good one. You know, so we get cheap stuff from China. We don't want tariffs on China. What does that mean for game companies? Little on the software side. On hardware side, it allows hardware manufacturer to go back to China. The problem is, I think that because Trump was so erratic, the hardware companies shifted production just to have a backup plan. So between Taiwan, Vietnam, and China, Taiwan not being China, they kind of gave themselves some leeway in case the U.S. does randomly impose tariffs again. And so the Chinese production is going elsewhere. It's not coming to the U.S. And once they put those contracts in place, they're probably not going to switch them back. China's not materially cheaper than Vietnam. I mean, it might be, 5% or 10%, but it's not enough. When you're talking about assembling a PlayStation, you're talking about components that probably cost, $250, and assembly probably costs like $50. So the difference between 50 in Vietnam and 45 in China, who cares? I mean, we're not talking about 10% more of the cost of the box. So yeah, marginally it helps consumers for game stuff, but it helps consumers for large labor intensive products a lot. So, clothing, stuff that's stitched, which again, look at the labels on your clothing: made in Thailand, made in Pakistan. We all of Ivanka Trump's branded products are made in China. So, we want to go to the lowest cost labor market for low cost goods, but it really doesn't matter very much for hardware for consumers. Where it does matter is when we treat China badly and impose tariffs on their stuff, they treat us badly and they block our games from coming to China. And the Chinese opportunity, that's an active 700 million, monthly active, daily active gamers in China. That is a gigantic market. Literally half the people in China play games, I think, daily. Biggest mobile market in the world. And so, if you get the game right, you want it there. So I'll tell you the company that benefited the most from Biden's election, is Activision, because Call of Duty China launched at the end of December. Go figure. Biden had already been elected. So December 24th, I think it was, Call of Duty China launched. Go figure. And Diablo Immortal's coming this year. And guess where it's going to launch? Globally. It'll be in China. So Activision, my God, if they ever make another StarCraft game, another Diablo game, even Overwatch, China is going to make their revenues 20, 30, 40% higher. That is a big consumer market. And if you've got games that people like, and I don't really quite get the whole, Rob Pardo, Mike Morhaime, what was Frank's last name, but the original triumvirate at Blizzard, but they figured out China. I have no idea why, but man, my God, those guys make games that the Chinese love. Non-Chinese guys from Southern California figured out how to make games that China loves. So good for them, but Blizzard stuff works there, and Blizzard is going to benefit. So I like Activision the best from the Biden election, and I do think tariffs are going to go away. Count on Biden undoing every terrible thing Trump did, and that should take the first 4 years of office. And then Biden will be too old to run again. So let's hope we get somebody that's not named Trump next time, because Trump did a lot of terrible things. Fellow babies, thanks for joining us on Pachter Factor on SIFTD.net. We appreciate your patronage through Patreon. We appreciate that you linked your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch Prime account. You can do both. We appreciate that you're subscribing on YouTube. Don't do all three. If you're Patreon patron, you don't have to pay on YouTube. But YouTube and Amazon Prime, absolutely, because that's free. And if you're just watching a week late because you're too lame, you better follow me on Twitter. If you follow me on Twitter and you let me know that I guilted you into it, I will give you a shout out on Twitter. And at least 40,000 of our closest friends will congratulate you for your good judgment following me.